So you get the picture, right? We have habeas corpus until the government deems we have some sort of we have a national emergency, or we feel like there's some nefarious groups in the country that are trying to cause some problems, right? And they have allegiances to foreign powers or whatever.
Right.
And then we seek to suspend and just start catapulting.
Yeah, it's what it is.
So right now we got a huge catapult out.
Yeah, it's what it is.
I think Trump has put his name on it.
Yeah.
Just like he puts his name on buildings and everything else. It's just a Trump catapult.
It's just fun.
And it's what they're doing. ICE is just catapulting. Their budget is crazy. They're going to run out of money because they're just running all over the place and they're just catapulting people.
It's what it is, because, ICE is funded by Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They got a lot of cash.
I mean, they really are spending money right now to get people out of the country. And the Trump administration is going, hey, everybody is in this gang.
Yeah.
And everyone's in this Venezuelan gang. What's it called? Tres Leches or something like that? Tres something.
Oh, yes, I know what it is.
One of these.
Yeah.
So they're just going, they're all in that. They're all in MS-13. And a lot of lawyers are going like, hey, this is just a Mexican guy. And Trump is going, no, they all got gang affiliations. So right now, Stephen Miller, right? Everyone knows who he is. He's the bald guy who, if you look at his internet history, it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Okay? But he's a well-spoken guy, and he's kind of...
Oh, yeah, it's going to be real weird.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, he's
got the face, I like to call his face weird internet history.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's just, that kid... Yeah.
Yeah, that's just who he is.
He's a lawyer, this kid.
Yeah, he is. Is he a lawyer, actually? Go back, Jesse, off the images where you were.
I think
he's the deputy chief of staff. I'm not sure if he's an actual lawyer.
Okay.
I know he was like he was a big time think tank guy kind of person,
it's
right?
It's wild that I'm older than him.
Yeah.
He's 39
years old. He's 39. He's not a lawyer. He went to Duke. So he went to Duke, and that's a good education.
What he needs is a little thing called Nutrafol, which is also sponsored this podcast, which can help his hair thinning and hair loss. I mean, the kid's bald big.
Yeah.
At this point, just shave it.
He needs hair tits big time.
He needs hair tits, but he's doing good things for this country.
Okay. I mean, that's an opinion. Maybe. I don't know.
Let's see.
So he's been the spokesperson for this. He's been the one out there talking to the press, and he's saying that currently, and this is his words, quote unquote, they are actively looking at suspending habeas corpus to facilitate these mass deportations.
So maybe he's not doing great things.
Well, I don't know. It depends. Are they all gang members? So it's Tren de Aragua is the gang. That's the Venezuelan gang. And the administration is arguing that the current influx of migrants constitutes an invasion. So basically they're saying this is an invasion, and this justifies the suspension of habeas corpus under constitutional provisions.
Right.
So there's a case court right now where that's been challenged, and it's JGG versus Trump, which is a class action habeas corpus lawsuit, which was filed on behalf of these Venezuelan migrants detained under the Alien Enemies Act. So they've been detained under the Alien Enemies Act, and a federal judge has issued a temporary restraining order to halt their deportation while they look at this. But the administration has proceeded with the deportations in spite of the legal ruling. So this is very concerning because Trump and his administration is basically saying, fuck the law.
Right.
We're invoking the Aliens Enemies Act, and we're just going, these are enemy combatants, and we're invoking that, and so fuck your legal ruling. So he's basically
pretty crazy.
So it's a little concerning, and it's got a lot of people concerned.
I still don't think that they're going to be able to do that. I don't think that they're going to be able to. The United States government is not going to be able to suspend habeas corpus. I think it's just like when Trump said people are worried that he's going to run for 3 terms, and he's like, I'm not going to do that. I think our imaginations and our anxieties get the best of us. I don't think that this is actually going to happen.
Well, it is happening, and that's the thing. So currently,
no, but it's not. We got habeas corpus right now.
Yeah, but we do. But if you're deemed an invader.
Oh, so you're saying right now, if you're like a good citizen, like you've never committed a crime at all, at any moment the U.S. government could say you're an invader.
They can.
And now habeas corpus.
That's what the fear is. So the fear is they can just grab anybody.
Is there a way to get my family in front of... Is there a way that I can pick certain members of my family and just say, can you just take a look and
Are they enemy combatants?
Yeah, are they enemy combatants or not?
Yeah, are they invading our country?
Can I upload a picture? Is there a site?
Yeah.
'Cause I got a couple of people that showed up to the barbecue the other day, and I just want to know if they're enemy combatants.
Yeah, well,
They look like they could be.
I mean, it's definitely, they got the look.
Yeah.
They got the look. Yeah.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
There's certain members of the family, though.
Yeah, so they're doing it to expedite the deportations. They don't want anything to hold it up. They just want to get them out, and they're calling it an invasion. And so that's what's going on.
Because if you come up to my pool this summer, you're going to see a lot of people of the family I'm married into. You're going to see a lot of guys in the pool with jean shorts on.
So you'd have to look at every one of these guys and say, are these guys, are they gang members? Are they invaders? And even if they are, do they still have the right to go in front of a judge?
Can we just say this? Can we just make this one rule? No matter what you look like, no matter what country you're from, if you have a tattoo on your face, you're an enemy combatant. Can we just say that? If you have a tattoo of it anywhere on your face, you're an enemy combatant, you're out of here.
We're going to be getting, well, then Post Malone is out of here.
Get him out of here. Yeah. Can we just say, can we make sweeping rules?
It's a good start.
If you have a tattoo on your face, you're an enemy combatant.
Yeah.
If you're outside the city of Los Angeles, but yet you're wearing Los Angeles Dodgers gear, you're an enemy combatant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Like, just
listen,
say,
I think we should codify that.
Yeah. If you're wearing if you're driving one of those low riding cars, enemy combatant.
Yes.
Okay.
The Constitution actually says in Article 1 that the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless, when in cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it.
But this is what I'm saying. I think the same way how the only thing is if Donnie T pulls an Abe Lincoln and said, that's the only thing. If Donnie T pulls an Abe Lincoln and says, well, you know, like when Congress told Abe Lincoln, you have to listen to us, and Abe said, no, we're at war. If Donald Trump says, no, we're at war, that's the only thing where he can suspend habeas corpus and not listen.
But that's a tough thing to advocate for, because this isn't a war. Even though
it might be.
He's trying to frame it as that. But let's be honest, most of these people are not committing crimes.
No, most of them are not.
Now, the United States has only suspended habeas corpus 4 times. And Jesse, can you scroll back to where you just had that? Sometimes you scroll a little faster than we need. So the 4 times was, like we said, during the Civil War, during Reconstruction in South Carolina, in the Philippines during a 1905 insurrection, and in Hawaii in 1941 after Pearl Harbor was bombed by Japan during World War II.
That's why they took the Japanese and put them in internment camps.
They just put them in camps.
So what we might have is a little thing. This time it might get suspended, and we'll just call them internment campos. It just might be a little, because there might just be, the new Japanese may just be here.
It's right. It's kind of what's happening right now. You know, history repeats itself. So here we are again. Are we overreacting? That's the thing. Are we not? Are we not?
I'll say this.
Did we overreact after 9/11? Did we overreact with the Japanese in World War II?
Well, here's the thing. I want to say that I do think, here's the thing, is 9/11 definite overreaction for sure. However, in today's world,
but did it bother us, that overreaction?
No.
I'm asking. I'm not saying.
It depends.
It depends on what your face looked like.
Right.
Yeah.
And
or your name was.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. We just spit the facts here.
It was just harder to catch a cab for a couple of years.
So it was. I'll say in New York City, though, if you go look outside in the New York that I've grown up in, I'm been here for 40 years.
That you love.
That I love. It does feel a little bit more unsafe, and it does look a little bit different than any other time in history. So what I will say is, if you are going to call some of this stuff, and when I say invasion,
don't take my landscaper.
Right. When I say invasion, I'm not talking about illegal immigrants. I'm talking about fentanyl. I'm talking about there's like a mind virus invasion. Then yes, I do think some of this country has changed, and we got to watch out for that. But I genuinely, in my heart, in my cholesterol-filled heart, I do not think that Donald Trump is going to change the constitutional law of the United States to just mass deport people who would otherwise be good U.S. citizens. I genuinely think he's looking for gang members, and he's trying to get out the people who are committing crimes. I do think there are a lot of people in this country now who are just full-on gang members who are trying to exploit the United States, and they're coming here for business opportunities that are not good. I don't think he's trying to throw out the guy who's just trying to, work with his family, work for his family, send the check home, and drink a beer and watch Ugly Betty reruns at night.
Yeah, well, the only problem with that is, and I'm just bringing it up, is a few people.
Because this is why your country always gets subjugated by other countries, because you Greeks, you're always looking for problems.
So there's been a few people who've been, they've attempted to catapult because they were pro-Palestine protesters on campuses. So that's another thing. They got a few of those going on. We got a couple.
Kind of annoying.
So, Mamadou Tal, a British Gambian PhD student at Cornell, was informed by immigration officials that his student visa had been revoked. The action followed his involvement in pro-Palestinian protests on campus, including the disruption of a career fair featuring defense contractors.
Oh, so this kid, he was just a regular protester, which is a legal right here, and they revoked his citizenship basically and made him a agitator, and they're going to throw him out.
Right. So
okay, so that's not cute.
Well, I don't know. So he filed a lawsuit challenging the executive orders that targeted international students engaged in such activism, but a federal judge denied his request to halt the deportation proceedings, citing concerns for his safety and freedom of expression. Tal chose to leave the U.S. voluntarily on March 31st.
Mohammed Khalil?
No.
We're talking about?
No, we were talking about Mamadou Tal.
Mamadou Tal actually decided on his own accord to just leave.
Yeah.
And go back, and go where?
Because he was concerned for his safety.
But where did he go?
I don't know where he went. Probably back to his country because he was here on a student visa.
Got it.
So there's been a few of those. Then we got the NYU Abu Dhabi wore a Palestinian KEF, whatever it's called, and shouted "Free Palestine" as he received his diploma. Days later, he was reportedly detained and deported back to the UAE. So the UAE maintains strict regulations on political expression, and such acts are often met with swift gubernatorial response. The NYU Abu Dhabi stated that while his academic authority on campus, it does not have jurisdiction over local laws. And so this is complex. So it's just a little complex because you're going like, these guys are just saying stuff. They're just saying stuff, and they're being deported because they're saying stuff.
Yeah. So
is that cute or is it brutes?
Is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. And
Jesse, is that cute or brutes?
It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag.
Mixed bag. So why don't you write in the YouTube comments, do you think habeas corpus is going to get upheld or taken away? And is it cute or brutes? And do we just have to protect this great nation of laws?